Until now, MediaTek socks have been nothing more than cheap products that don't perform well, but this time, the CPU performance exceeds even the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and is so powerful that it can play the highest quality Genshin Impact at an average of 55 FPS. The Redmi K50 Pro supports super fast 120W charging and has a Samsung AMOLED with 120Hz refresh rate support, making it perfect for those who value everyday use and gaming performance outside of the camera. This review is done with the 8GB plus 128GB version. The accessories included in the box, which emphasizes 120W and 2K, are a transparent protective case, a 120W charger, a dedicated USB Type-A to C cable, and an instruction manual. It also has Redmi's mascot character, the dinosaur, written on it. It appears to be a type that can charge 120W even at 100V. It has only USB Type-A port but is USB PD compliant, which is a mysterious specification. The Redmi K50 Pro has an AMOLED display with WQHD Plus resolution. Can be changed to FHD Plus in settings. It is surprising to see 2K resolution finally becoming a common feature in the budget Redmi series. The colors are good and the viewing angles are adequate. The screen is a little pale at a right-angle viewing angle, but this is not a problem since people who view the screen from such an angle are not likely to be particular about the quality of the image. The display area is flat, so the edges are not obscured by light reflections. It is made by Samsung ID38 and is a diamond array. In the Redmi K50 Pro black color, the back of the device is designed to resemble a meteorite. However, especially when exposed to sunlight outdoors, the reflection makes it look like broken glass. Indoors, it looks like black crystals, which is cool. With the Redmi K40 series, the Damascus steel motif was cool, so I personally was disappointed with the ink feather design. The body is IP53 waterproof. The Redmi K50 Pro's camera is actually the same configuration as the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, a triple camera of 108MP, Samsung S5K HM2, plus 8MP, ultra-wide Samsung S5K 4H7, plus 2MP, macro Galaxy Core GC02M1. OIS optical image stabilization support makes the camera more resistant to camera shake, but don't expect great camera performance, as the Redmi series has kept the price down by keeping costs related to the camera particularly low. The adjustment seems to have been made without increasing the saturation too much. I felt that in bright locations, the white would tend to jump out. Night scenes can only be photographed in the same degree of darkness as the naked eye. It is better to be able to see the area around the LEDs, but I don't think it is suited for nightscape photography. The Redmi K50 Pro has stereo speakers, one at the top and one at the bottom. However, they are not symmetrical in position. If anything, the highs were stronger and the bass was a little harder to hear. If you are looking for powerful bass, Redmi K50G is better. The frequency response measured by Mini DSP UMIK1 from a distance of about 30 centimeters surrounded by sound-absorbing mats is as follows. The 120W fast charge supported by the Redmi K50 Pro took only 20 minutes to charge from 10% to 100%. Instead of charging while you sleep, you can wake up in the morning and plug it in for a full charge while you are getting ready. The temperature rise is a bit hot at a maximum of about 45.4 degrees Celsius, but once charged to 100%, it cooled down to 35 degrees Celsius in about 5 minutes. The full 120W only comes out when the remaining power is low, which is around 90W between 20 to 49% and is controlled to 70W at about 50%. Note that 120W fast charging can also be turned off. Unusually for a recent smartphone with an OLED display, the fingerprint sensor is mounted on the side. The same finger will be rejected if it is not registered on the same part of the finger, and I think the accuracy is also reasonably good. The Redmi K50 Pro is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9000, which uses the TSMC 4nm manufacturing process and boasts CPU performance that exceeds even the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. In the past, Snapdragon was the only high-end SoC, but MediaTek can no longer be ignored. However, the full power of such Dimensity 9000 is limited by Xiaomi by default. There is no specific explanation, but if performance is not selected in the battery, performance is limited except in benchmark apps. What? Selecting it to performance removes the limitation. It only removes the limitation and does not seem to do any extra behavior such as sticking the CPU clock to the upper limit. It is a troublesome point that unrestricted performance is shown even if balanced is selected in the benchmark application, and an ordinary person with a little bit of knowledge may think I got 1 million points on Antutu. So it must have high performance in everyday use. The normal Geekbench results were 1242 single-core and 4197 multi-core, but when the package name was disguised as that of the JD Shopping app, the results dropped significantly to 940 single-core and 3073 multi-core. This is a score equivalent to a Snapdragon 870, and if someone who expects the Dimensity 9000's performance and used it without knowing anything about it, they would end up saying, the benchmark results are good, but I can't feel any difference in everyday use. By selecting performance, even the version disguised as JD gave a single core of 1232 and a multi-core of 4154, which is equivalent to the normal version. Note that some games, such as Genshin, are optimized at the system level, so changing the package name to Genshin caused a crash. UFS 3.1 storage and LPDDR5 memory, with particularly fast sequential read/write and memory copy speeds. As mentioned earlier, I measured the game's operation in performance mode, since it cannot show its true performance unless it is in performance mode. Running the Genshin Impact at the highest quality and 60 FPS setting, the average FPS measured by Wettest Perfdog was 55.2 FPS. The battery temperature rose to a maximum of about 44.2 degrees Celsius, and the back of the device was also hot. However, thanks to the frame being plastic instead of metal, it was not so hot that I could not hold it. Considering that the Redmi K50G with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 averaged 51 FPS, this is a pretty good result, but it seems that heat generation issues are still unavoidable even with TSMC 4nm process. The Redmi K50 Pro is capable of comfortable gameplay, taking advantage of the powerful MediaTek Dimensity 9000, as long as you are aware of the limitations that only make benchmark results look good. Thanks to its 120W fast charging support, you hardly have to worry about battery life, and the high-resolution AMOLED display provides a video experience similar to that of a high-end smartphone. It is unfortunate that the camera and speakers are not as good as those of $1,000 class smartphones, but you have to save money somewhere for a cheap price, so it can't be helped. The Redmi K50 Pro is available for $470 and up. What do you think? Tell us down in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell. Thank you for watching.